Welcome back to Bloody Idiot of the Week, the show where we enjoy the tomfoolery of the world's biggest strongos in glass. And of course, I'm your idiot host, Dave Donovan, from Independent Australia. But before we start, I need to be serious for a moment, because now is an unsettling time for Australians. As Victoria is receiving its second wave of the dreadful coronavirus, the state is being hit hard and has now moved into a stage 4 lockdown, otherwise known as house arrest. It's bad, real bad. And as the rest of the country looks on in horror, helpless, waiting for the virus to re-enter their state with a deadly vengeance, lucky then, here in Australia, we can trust our leaders and administrators, such as Health Minister Greg Hunt, who rushed the aid of his fellow Victorians with an expert video tutorial on proper mask application.
Again though, I would encourage Victorians where you cannot social distance and you are in proximity to other people to please wear a mask. One. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that, Greg. You're a safe pair of hands. Speaking of safe pairs of hands, thank goodness we have the hero of Engadine, Scott Morrison, steering the ship of state through these troubled waters. Scotty from Marketing wants to keep Australians safe, which is why he had his government go to the High Court to back Clive Palmer's case to open up WA's borders.
The High Court of Australia will have a chance to determine whether Mark Gowan is a fool or not, whether he's got ill intentions for the state by putting this block down, which is totally illegal, totally against our way of life and totally against the laws of Australia.
Now, the question on everybody's lips is, why would this great big gross ball of lard want the borders to reopen during a continental pandemic? Well, here at IA, we've had our top journalists investigating this developing story.
Hey, Donovan, is Lord ass one word?
And what they've learnt may shock you. Allegedly, it all started in March when Clive, staying at the penthouse suite at the Perth Marathon, accidentally left half a Mars bar behind the couch.
Oh, now where the bloody hell did I leave that thing?
Also standing up for his fellow Australians is Liberal MP Craig Kelly. Now, Craig thinks a poisonous chemical can cure COVID-19, and so we should all follow Donald Trump's advice and ingest it.
And if the doctors and the patient decide between themselves, they should be allowed to administer that drug. That should happen here in Australia as well. The idea that we have health bureaucrats tying doctors' hands when such evidence exists from around the world, I think is a scandal.
Because what do we have to lose?
You know the expression I've used, John? What do you have to lose?
Now, these are bold claims, and you may be wondering what type of medical expertise Craig Kelly has. Well, according to him, absolutely none. In fact, the World Health Organization described Craig Kelly as the least medically informed man in Australia. Of course, this could be just due to the fact that he looks somewhat like a giant tumour. Now, while we're on malignant growths, Jim from Jim's Mowing mows down anyone who stands in the way of his expanding wealth. Jim says no one should flout the rules, but it's not his fault, he told his contractors, to flout the rules, because Victorian Premier Dan Andrews' rules are unclear, and so...
I'm looking at a summary on your own website, and it says these services cannot operate in the workplace, including office administration services. So all of our office, all of our call centre, completely offline. But it also says these businesses can continue building and grounds maintenance, cleaning and pest control. So we are abiding by the law. What the problem is that the Premier said something which is against the advice of his own department.
There'll be no cleaners going to your house, there'll be no one mowing your lawns. There'll be no one providing anything other than emergency support. So if you need a plumber because a pipe has burst, then yes, you can have that plumber come and do that work. But it's not the time to be painting your house. It's not the time to be having completely unnecessary tradespeople right at this time. They're critical in terms of the economy, but the work is not necessary and urgent. It cannot happen.
Well, I wouldn't believe anything from this so-called Jim, because clearly he's an imposter.
Bit of a puzzler, eh, Holmes?
Quite. A most intriguing feature.
Now, speaking of people who don't have a clue, we come to Centrelink boss Catherine Campbell. You may not know her, hopefully you never will, but she's the architect of the Robodebt scheme. But that doesn't mean she knows what Robodebt is.
I think what you mean by Robodebt is compliance per se. Is that what you mean by Robodebt?
No, I think everybody pretty well understands what Robodebt is. The only term that we've used today that no one understands or is questioning is what legal insufficiency. You know, Robodebt's Robodebt. We know what that is.
So I'm sorry, Chair, I don't know what Robodebt means.
That is an extraordinary admission at this point,
because in the
Mrs. Campbell.
context of the question, can I just finish? And if I look back on Robodebt and the great... Sorry, Chair, I don't know what Robodebt means. The Online Compliance Initiative, which went on to be known as Robodebt. Sorry, Chair, I don't know what Robodebt means.
But really, how could she be expected to know? She's only the Secretary of Social Services, the department that sent out over 500,000 Robodebts and is now facing a class action on Robodebt. Now, we don't have any concrete evidence that the Robodebt lady is also a Covidiot, but we do have our sneaking suspicions.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
And speaking of co-idiots, first, Karen from Bunnings.
I actually don't need a medical certificate if you refer to the DH. No, I'm allowed to do this. And you're discriminating against me. And you're not authorised by the Australian government to even question me about it. Then that's discrimination, and I can have you sued personally for discriminating against me as a woman.
Second, Robert McMaddog, McMuzzle guy.
We are being lied to, our freedoms are being taken forever, and I will not be muzzled like a mad dog. Truth.
And while we're on the subject, New South Wales Minister for Health Brad Hazzard's our guest on face masks.
Do we or don't we have enough face masks?
She's a goose, don't worry about it. I heard the leader of the opposition, the temporary leader of the opposition, actually being a complete pork chop out there today. Quite stupid. So you've got to say, oh, the cakes weren't quite right, or this wasn't quite right.
Please
quite
just resume your seat for the moment.
We should all wait with bated breath for you to leave and somebody else to come along. If I was sitting next to someone like you in a bus, I would definitely have a mask on. You are as irrelevant as you will ever be.
I will.
Seriously, you are clearly irrelevant. Very frustrating and very annoying.
Luckily, thanks to Greg, if Brad manages to find them, we know how to use them.
Please wear a mask. 1, 2. Thank you very much.
Yep, congratulations, Greg Hunt. You're our bloody idiot of the week. And big thanks to all you idiot fans for watching, and an even bigger thanks to our contributors at independentaustralia.net for making this week's bloody idiot possible. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Well, the party was nice, the party was pumping. And everybody having a ball. Until the fellas started name calling. And the girls respond to the call. I have a boom and shout out. Who let the dogs out?
What are you doing here? The video's finished. Oh, you wanna subscribe or donate to Independent Australia? Well, you can do that here. This is how you subscribe. And if you want to donate, then the more zeros the better. This is the way you do that. Catch you later. That's it.